Hey guys, Casey Eberhart here. I am super excited to have a chat with you today. Today's video might be a little bit longer, but I think you'll really enjoy it from a point of view that you may not be used to hearing. So I put it up in the title section, looking at your business from an investor's point of view, and also how you can start to manage that business, your business, a little bit differently. So hello everybody, my name is Casey Eberhart. If you and I don't know each other, first let me just say thank you so much for jumping on and hanging out. I appreciate you being here. If you like this video and you like what you learn, I'd love to have you hit a like, subscribe, comment, so on and so forth. I will do my best to bring you what I think will help you make more money and save time in your particular business. So I'm about a 20-year veteran in business. I've bought, sold, and built over a dozen companies. I currently run the mastermind program called the Platinum Inner Circle, which is designed for high-producing, result-oriented entrepreneurs and business owners specifically committed to producing extraordinary results in their business. Okay, so here's what we have to look at. I think it's important for everybody that owns a business, and this goes from a micropreneur or a solopreneur all the way up to big businesses, to really look at those businesses from an investor's point of view. When I get called in to look and become a potential investor in a business or potentially buy a business, I'm just going to kind of share my insights or what I think or what I look at when I go into that business and I kind of dig around. And the reason I think it's important to share this stuff with you today is that somebody coming in and buying a business is looking for the holes. They're looking for the opportunity where they feel they can make more money in that business, thus making it worth their investment. So I've never met an investor like myself who ever goes in and buys a company that doesn't have any upside potential or upside opportunity. So I thought what I would do is literally break down just a couple of different thoughts. I wrote some notes over here on a couple of different things that I do when I look at a business. And by the way, this goes for anybody that's building a network marketing business, a brick and mortar business, an e-com business, a blogging business, any type of business. This perspective we'll start to look at. So before I get started, I want to just let you know I wrote a guide with a checklist and a worksheet on helping you do better follow-up. So in most businesses, I know that the probably number one, number two issue is follow-up. So I just took a whole group of stuff that we use in all of our businesses to do follow-up. I put them in a free guide and checklist. You can go grab a copy at cashflowwithcasey.com. Okay, just go in there, tell me where to send it, and we'll fire it off. And hopefully you can help increase and improve your follow-up, all designed to help you make more money in your business. Okay, so let's get started. Number one, when an investor comes in to look at any business, and I would advise you to actually do this on your own business, try to take your business, set it aside, and then come in and look at what I'm about to share with you from that point of view and see what you can come up with. So number one, the investor is always going to look for where is the upside opportunity. Okay, so where is the upside opportunity? Okay, now the investor is there to make more money in the business, right? So I would venture to say that most investors, when they're looking at buying a business, are not trying to invest in and buy a job. They're looking to have a return on their money and have that return on their money be as little time investment as they need, probably because they have other stuff going on. They may not want to invest in something that is going to require another 80 hours of their time in a given week or so, right? So upside opportunity, okay? So when I look at upside opportunity, when I'm in a business and kind of getting under the hood and digging in there, right, I'm actually looking for three things. And I always ask the business owner these three things. Number one, okay, number one is what are we doing to sell more to current customers? Okay? Now, here's the great news. Most companies have no program in place to actually sell more to their current customers, which is, for a guy like me, absolute upside opportunity. If I were going in and looking at buying a dentist office, for example, I would go in and I would want to start pulling files and see how many people do we recommend get fillings for that haven't been filled, right? If I was looking at buying a veterinarian business, I would be looking at how many dogs, cats, critters do we know need need shots that haven't got them yet. So that's upside opportunity. And what's in place? What tools, processes are in place to sell more to current customers? I will tell you, most business owners, this is the look on their face. Well, we're just focused on new customers. So we'll get to that in a second. Number two is I'm always looking to see a business that has some kind of win-back campaign in place. Okay, now again, for me personally as an investor, I'm going to be honest with you, I want them to not have any of this in place because for me, this always goes into upside opportunity. But do they have a win-back campaign in place? Meaning, we know as business owners that the number one reason that people leave businesses is because of perceived indifference. So a lot of your customers probably left simply because they didn't know you cared. Okay, it's very simple. There's no loyalty from that customer to that brand, right? We see this in cell phones and mobile phones all day long. I'm with T-Mobile, I can get seduced over to Sprint, or I'm with Sprint and I get seduced over to Spectrum or whatever. That's because there's no loyalty. The reason there's no loyalty is because I don't know that AT&T cares about me. I don't know that Sprint cares about me. I just think I'm a number to them. Perceived indifference. Okay, so I'm going to look and see, do they have a win-back campaign in place? The third thing I'm going to ask is, how do we acquire a new customer? Okay, now, again, I'll put how here, right? How do we attract a new customer into the business? Now, I'm going to tell you, most businesses have not even thought about these three buckets, which provides a guy like me or a person that's investing in the company to go, oh my gosh, there's a massive opportunity. If a customer base already exists, right? So check this out. If a business has customers, then more than likely there's an upside opportunity because most companies don't have a way or a process or a tool or a system to sell more to their current customers. They don't have a way to bring their old customers back into the fold. And thirdly, they probably don't have a great tool in place to bring on new customers. Now, the other three things underneath this that I look at, okay, is number one is what is our cost, a CPL, which means cost per lead, okay? How much does it cost us to generate one lead in the business? Now, I'm going to give you a little secret sauce here. The faster you can get referrals coming in, it brings that cost per lead really down, okay? Now, number two, we have CPC, cost per customer, okay? So if we spend $10 per lead and it takes us 10 leads to get a customer, then it's $100, right? Okay? And then the other key thing that I'm always trying to increase is the lifetime value. Lifetime value, that's what the LTV stands for. So we're always looking to add these lifetime values or increase the lifetime value of a customer in a new business. So from an investor standpoint, the first thing I do is I start asking these questions. Before they tell me anything about the business, I want to know what they have in place. And most of the time, you guys, this conversation, whether it's somebody trying to sell me a network marketing position or a real estate office or a home loan or anything, most people don't have any of this in place, okay? Now, here's the kicker. The kicker is, number two, I want to know what tools are in place, okay? And how are we paying for them? I want to make sure I've got enough space. How to pay for them, right? So here's the secret sauce. The secret sauce is if they don't have any of this in place and or they don't have any tools to help this, oh my gosh, I'm already in. I'm already in. I don't really need to know anything else because I have the tools and I have the philosophy that can help put this stuff into place like that, literally within 30 days, okay? I think it's why I get hired as a consultant a lot, because a lot of companies will have me come in to try to help increase their revenue, and this is exactly what I go through with them, okay? So here's the thing. Number one, I want to know what tools are in place, how much are we spending on this, okay? And what do we have to do to pay for the tool? What do we have to do to make it get payback, pay a positive ROI, which is just return on investment, okay? So for example, almost all tools that I use in my arsenal, okay, almost all tools in my arsenal are tools that I can promote to an outsider and make a little bit of money, primarily in the affiliate world, if the tool has high impact, low cost, or high impact, high cost, but I can go share that tool with some other businesses, then I can make my money back and the tool becomes somewhat free, right? Okay, now this is all super important. Now I particularly promote a couple of tools, one in particular that handles pretty much all of this, okay? And on top of that, the reason I love it is there's also an affiliate program with it, or I can get paid by sharing it with, say, you. But if I share it with you and you increase your current customers, you increase how much they buy from you, they increase the ability for them to come back to you, and it generates new customers or new clients for your business, then does it really matter what the cost is, right? Now, the good news is this particular tool I'm talking about is super cheap. It's super cheap. And you can use it as a tool, or you can share it with a couple of people and get your money back from it and move on and just use it to help drive this business. Because here is the key. And oh, by the way, guys, you can just message me, or you can find me on social media, or if you just go through cashflowwithcasey.com, you'll be able to pick a time on my calendar and we can have a chat about this. But here's the deal. When we take over a business, we start managing the business on day one. The day we buy it or the day we start it, we start managing it as if it is for sale. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean that your business is for sale. It just simply means that you are managing it as if you are going to put it on the market, as if you are going to sell the business later. The reason this becomes super important is a business owner, an investor, remember, is going to come in and they're going to look for the increased opportunities. They're going to look to see how are you selling more to your current customers. They're going to look to see how you're bringing customers back that used to be with you. They're looking at how you are generating new customers. Well, if you start managing your business starting today as if it's for sale, you start making decisions that grow the business anyways, because the reality is you want this opportunity number from an investor to actually be pretty small, right? And the reason I say that is most people aren't ready to sell their business today. Maybe they're going to sell it 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. But if you start managing as if it's for sale today, what you're going to find is those decisions, those tools, those systems, those processes become really, really important, because as a investor, let's say as a business owner, me being able to go to an investor and say, look, here's the investment, here's what I think my business is worth, here's the tools and processes I've got in place to generate these 3 things. And oh, by the way, because of the tools that we put in place, because of the processes we put in place, because of all of this stuff, we've been managing this sucker as if it's for sale for so long. The reality is, the time it's going to take you to come in and ramp this stuff up, Mr. or Mrs. Investor, is very, very low. That becomes very, very intriguing for an investor to step in and take a peek at what you got to offer, okay? So let's just review. Number one, from an investor standpoint, someone's going to come in and look and say, hey, what do you have in line? What tools, systems, and processes are you using to sell more to your current customers? So if I say to you, what are you doing today to make sure that every customer you have is served to the highest ability of your company? Do they know the products you have? Do they know upcoming products? Do they know specials on those products? remember, these are people that already know, like, and trust you. They're already engaging in your brand. They're already engaging in your business, right? Number two, we all know we're going to lose customers down the road somewhere. Some may pass away, some may move if you're geo-specific, some may have lost all the weight they need to lose if you're in health and wellness. But the vast majority of customers will leave because of perceived indifference, meaning the customer just doesn't know you care. Okay, so I want to know, what do you have in place to show your customers that you care, and how do we bring them back into the fold? And number three, how are we generating new customers? Is it leads on Facebook? Is it leads on YouTube, or ads on Facebook, ads on YouTube, ads on TikTok? Is it flyers? Is it referral based? What is it? And get really clear on how you get new customers, so that when somebody comes in and says, well, what's your cost per lead? If you look at them and go, I don't know, you've just decreased the likelihood that that person is going to invest in your business, or they're going to make you a super lowball offer. Okay. Number two, what's it cost you to generate a customer? If your product costs $50, right, and it costs you $400 to get a customer for $50, well, that's a losing proposition. However, if your lifetime value of that customer over the course of their lifetime, they become a $10,000, $20,000 customer, well, then is $400 an acceptable amount to spend? Sure, I'd spend $400 for a $10,000 customer all day long. But if we get these other things right, selling more to our current customers might increase that lifetime value. If we win back customers, we are going to be bringing back more folks into the fold, which means it's going to cost us less per customer and less leads to regain a new customer. And finally, we can go down and dive deep into how are we getting absolute new customers, okay? And then I just want you to take a look at the tools that you're using, right? And ask yourself, is this tool making me more money because it's helping me sell more to current customers? Is it helping me win back past customers? Is it helping me bring in new customers? If it is, then I want to move to the next step, which is, how are we paying for that tool? If not, do we even care? Do we want to make any money by referring other people that same tool so that they can have the same benefit, but it makes our tool for free, right? And then finally, I want you just to look in this and ask yourself, if I were selling this business tomorrow, would this impact the way I make decisions? So we literally, in our business, like I have a portfolio business, I literally just broke one business into 3 complete different brands, simply because I had forgot. I almost went down a road where we were not building this as if it was for sale, okay? And so we were able to take one, shoot it off over here. We're creating a whole thing where we'll be able to sell that at some point down the road. We don't have any intention of selling it for 10, 20 years, but we will manage it as if it's for sale. This decision to break these apart, or move them apart, I should say, simply came from going back to the, hey, if we were selling this tomorrow, how would we do that? So I hope this was of value to you. If it was, please leave a comment, subscribe, smash that comment button or smash that like button, give a subscribe, share it out. And if there's anything I can do to help you in your business, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm all over the place. You should have no problem really finding me. But if you want to get started and you don't want to pay any money, you don't want to share anything, or you just want to check stuff out and kind of get a feel for who I am and what I bring to the table, head over to cashflowwithcasey.com. Just tell me where to send your free guide on 20 ways to improve your follow-up. Until next time, guys, have an amazing day. Now go give somebody else an awesome day, and I look forward to hearing back. Ciao.